Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for March 30th, 2025. This is the last news of March, and gotta say, there's things to talk about this week. I hope everybody's been having a great week, having a fun week, and let's get into talking about some of this stuff. Let's spark a conversation about there's some Ninja Turtle stuff going on with NECA. Also, Target Holothon that I have not spoken about yet. I'll speak about it today a little bit. WonderCon is bringing out a few interesting pictures. Not a whole lot new, but enough new. Then we're seeing Toddy Mac. Wow. Cyborg. Is he going to be Vac Metal? I don't know. It's looking like no. But then the fact that he makes it means there might be a Vac Metal later. Who knows? There is going to be even more stuff from McFarlane. And then, I haven't heard much from people, and then Mondo comes out with this Winston. So right on the heels of Egon pre-order going out, or whatever, ending. Now we've got this guy. Pretty awesome stuff right there. And then some Star Wars news. There was a live stream, I guess. I'm going to talk about what's exposed. I didn't watch any live stream or anything, but I will talk about what's coming. And the pre-orders, and all that stuff. Good and the bad. Cut up. As per usual, starting out with what's new at Show Z Store. And this is the fourth party masterpiece, MP52 Starscream version 2.0, even it's clearly the third. But anyhow, don't worry about the blurred out face. That's so you can't identify that it's a Starscream. Or you can't identify that it has extra LED head sculpt. $85 if you missed out on this and you want the KO. Here it is. Now I want to point this out. I think it was just this last week. It might have even been even before that. But I just noticed the prices up for the reissues. Now these originally came out. The first one was around $180 for this Maverick. And then the other two came out like $115, then $130 or something along those lines for the pricing. So this is still a little bit more for the limbs, but not the $220 to $250 like everyone else is charging. So gotta say, this is a decent price. If you're interested in this, they're still up for, I think, pre-order. Yes, 30 down and 40 down. I don't have a problem with that, because then you pay less when you pay for the rest of it, but you're paying less overall anyway. Oh, by the way, TH in the reviewer code for me to let you in on this little secret here. Now, I'm going to say there's really no Transformers news this week, so I just talked Friday about rumors and psych. It's funny, though. Two things I talked about Friday turned out to be something happening like the very next day. It's crazy. In the case of this MPG Optimus Prime, there's a lot of rumors still surrounding this, even though we see the pictures, like size, like price, and nobody even really seems to know exactly when it's going to get released. I believe the 4/4/25 is the pre-order date, but some people are trying to say that's even the release. It doesn't really matter, though. Let's get into looking at some of these pictures. Now, here is a better, more or less full-size picture of it. A lot of people are also pointing out the fact that it looks like MP10. Well, it looks like what MP10 probably should have looked like. It's a little bit more stylized, say, on the side window there. The rest of it doesn't really look that bad in the alt mode. The bot mode does resemble MP10, but better, actually. The legs are slimmer. They're not big old giant bulky legs. The arms look a little bit better. And then the alt mode, which the MP10 alt mode wasn't really that bad, is a massive improvement over what they did with MP44. But I'm also hearing that it's going to be 7.5 inches tall at $165 or $160, something around that price range. I don't know for sure. I can't validate any of this stuff. Neither can anybody really truly validate it till it starts showing up in the market. Interesting that they show 2026 in this, but of course that does probably have something to do with calendar years and stuff like that. But not the calendar year, but the fiscal year. There we go. Anyhow, looking at it, there's some different angles and pictures and stuff and what all it comes with, which it's interesting because it does sort of branch over different eras with the accessories. I'm still on the fence whether I get it. It's obviously an Optimus Prime. It's going to sell. Obviously, it's going to generate a lot of interest. But do I need one? Do I need a chug scale one? And even if this is the full 10-inch, which we need the full 10 here, if it's going to be Masterpiece, do we need another one? Is it regression going backwards style-wise, stylization? Or is this considered a one-off in the T-Spark category? Now, since we're with Optimus Prime, we're going to jump to a 3D print for your... Why didn't this happen a year ago? I don't know. But I guess they wanted to wait for the official out and then base it all completely off of that, which probably is smart. But people would have loved to have had this when as soon as the shell arrived. But basically, it's a filler. You stick it in the shell, the trailer, and you've got the chest filler. Now you can stick this in there, and you can have your other Prime outside of it. It's kind of the new trend, very trendy to 3D print a part to stick in there and have two bots for the price of one. Well, I don't know how much that costs, but generally they run about 36 bucks. I don't know how much this one is, and I'm not going to link these because I do not 100% back all of the sellers. I've got one on the way. Maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. All right, so this is something kind of interesting. This is a TFC Toys Luminant craft series, and it's been reviewed by the Nerd Crate too. So quite interesting. I didn't really know anything about this, and with that, it is cool looking. Turns into a pretty cool looking jet. Looks to be Masterpiece. If you're interested in this, this might be something you want to go after. But it kind of snuck up on me. I didn't even know they were making this. Either that or did they make it 10 years ago? All right, next up we've got... So this is another thing. I was talking about Fort Max, then boom, out of nowhere comes this Big Mac toy, Big O1. Here's the thing. This is a 30-inch version of a Fortress Maximus. So 29, 30 inches, something along those lines. And that is still around, what, 20 or so inches? I think 44 is what we decided that Fans Toys was saying theirs was going to be, something along that. Pretty close to 4 foot on the Fans Toys, but not quite 4 foot. But with all of that, this is going to be shorter. And will they name the Cerebros a small side of fries, or is that going to be Spike's name? Just kidding on that. Don't really know much more about this, and this is the first beginning teaser of a project. Maybe it comes to fruition, maybe it doesn't, but I'm believing because it is smaller, but it's still significantly larger than a Titan, at least by 5 inches, 6 inches, then it might be something that generates a lot of excitement, and they make more than just a Fort Max, but they definitely will beat Fans Toys to market if they actually make it. I also want to point out, though, if a company comes out of nowhere and they're doing one project, yeah, they usually can be better, or not better, but faster at getting their one project done than Fans Toys, who's making 8 figures a year. We got pictures of the next X-Transbots figure, and it looks pretty good overall. One of the things is I've never really liked the look of the legs on this figure, and that could be an issue, but it is accurate. And so when you really want accuracy, sometimes it's accurate to a detriment, and be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. We are getting it with this. I don't really have a problem with it overall, and I'm okay with the arm on this. I've seen some comparisons side by side with the Fans Toys. Maybe that's something I'm going to do down the road. I don't think I have time for that right now, but this does look pretty good overall. I'm pretty excited for this. Still up in the air which set I'm going to like the most in combined mode, which really means the most to me, and then the other set would go into bot mode, but still a whole lot of fun and excitement. Here's the alt mode, and that's a big... You got to remember how big these things are. These aren't tiny little figures. When you look at the pictures, you're thinking, yeah, it's not that big. These are big. These are real big. I've got them in my review area space, and I know how big they are because I'm building them as we go. I got them kind of set off to the side so that we can build them as we go, have a lot of fun with that. But yeah, this looks pretty good overall. It just happens to be a coincidence that Fans Toys put their pictures out right after X-Trans. I mean, it's just pure coincidence. There's no ill will meant there, right? So anyway, does look pretty good overall. They're both good ones. I'm not going to nitpick them when the pictures But I do want to say I think the bot looks a little bit more kibbly on the back for the fans' toys. But oddly enough, I kind of strangely like the legs. It's weird. And here is the arm mode for the fans' toys, and looks pretty good. I want to point out the differences in the purples. I've seen multiple different color differences. I don't think any of this is truly finalized, and until we get it in our hands and we do all the comparisons, I'm reserving my judgment till we get them in hand, literally. All right, so we have the MX22 SG Shattered Commander Stack, which is an Agabus.com BotCon exclusive. Not sure if other places are going to get it, but this does kind of look like the Diaclone one. This does kind of look like what they call Delta Magnus, but not exactly like what they usually call Delta Magnus. So anyhow, it's a variation. If you want to get it, you can get it. Will Fans Toys make theirs in this coloration? I don't know. There's no telling. Here's the alt mode, and overall it's still a pretty good bot. I wonder if this retains the electronics, the speaking, the talking. That's a fun part of this figure, the electronics. But still, overall it's a great figure. And at the end of the day, whether you've got Fans Toys or the X-Transbots version of this, I think they're both wins. They just go about it different ways. We got some AMK Pro Series stuff going on right here. This one has diecast, and it is... We've seen this before, but more full reveals. Pre-orders are live. I've already got my pre-order at Show Z, so I guess it doesn't really matter to me on that one. But you get the figure, interchangeable face, interchangeable hands times 6, Ion Blaster times 2, Energon Gun, Energon Axe, another Energon Axe, 2 Energon Swords, and then an Energon base and stand, and there you go. They're also making IDW Tarn, which is not a bad idea at all. You know, the Tarn and Drift are extremely popular characters. People love them. They sell out. They sell well. So why not jump on that bandwagon and give a really good-looking figure that does not just transform? Okay, this one and the last one, they don't transform, remember? And they're about 8 inches or so. And their model kit you got to put together. By the way, I just got one of their ones from... Transformers 1, the Alita 1, that's got a lot of parts to put together on that one. Alright, this week Roboson and put out their Bumblebee, which, you know, I saw that the Bumblebee's coming back. I didn't realize it was going to be fully transforming, and I didn't realize it's going to cost $1,000. So there we go. They've done some good work. These are very impressive, very interesting. Everybody that sees them in action is highly impressed. And then after messing with them for 30 minutes, they don't mess with them again for another year. So it's kind of how most collectors treat this line, but it's still very impressive. Where technology has come, how far we've come, very impressive. But I would have preferred a toon look, and it would have given a more toon look to the actual figure itself. But it is still interesting when you start looking at how these transform. That is, I could nitpick down to every little level of how they transform and how they alter the parts a little bit. It's very impressive. Speaking of impressive, here's a picture to show the size and scale, and I guess we don't have Megatron and Grimlock transformed yet. They took a little longer, so anyhow, you can see how he is next to the first flagship Prime. I actually think the second Prime they put out is about the same size as Bumblebee, so he's a big Bumblebee. That's a big Bumblebee. When you're looking at scale, which I don't know if it truly scales to a lot of people's liking. Doesn't bother me, though. I think it looks pretty good, and it gets the job done. This is interesting. This is Dr. Wu's Workshop Extreme Warfare WDE09T Starfear. And I'm guessing it's Starscream with his ghost form, so he's clear. And he sits in his ghost, on his ghost throne, and he's got the crown and the coronation set. Very interesting, all this. And remember, it's like 2.5 inches tall. It's not very big, but quite interesting. I am kind of excited for this. I don't think Magic Square's tackled Sunstreaker yet. So here we go, getting one from New Age. And do I even know the official name on this guy? He is William H69. William! The circled, it's not really circled, it's more of a rectangle. The rectangle outlined item there is a pre-order bonus, is a key? The key to Vector Sigma. Is that what it is? Anyhow, yeah, you get that other little piece of plastic, and I guess we're still building something with the arm that's going to be included. Cool stuff. Yeah, I pre-ordered this. I'm interested in this. I don't think I'm in on their Sideswipe. I don't need to be doubling up on very many more Legends figures. Here's the alt mode if you're interested, and it's not a bad alt mode. It's not the most perfectest, bestest alt mode for a Sunstreaker, but mine's going to be in bot mode anyway, and I give preference to the bot mode, but still not bad. I actually think their Sideswipe alt mode is better, but there it goes. Another Dr. Wu project. We've got the Cyber Mixer Truck and Cyber Shovel Loader. They're making a Devastator which will combine, and it's interesting. The Devastator Wars do not end. It is a continuation. If anybody makes anything for Transformers or upgrade kits, they're in the Devastator War for whatever reason. Well, I guess for money. Yeah, that's it. Money and profits. That's why they don't want to miss out, because once the Devastator War's over, who's going to want a new Devastator? Probably everybody. Once they all sell out. Anyhow, the Dr. Wu, tiny little figures. And I don't even think they give us the height on it when it's combined, though. So, the combiner mode should be 13 centimeters tall. Okay, we got 13 centimeters tall. All right, so this is going to be an alphatoyland.com exclusive. This is the New Age Studio Series scaled, slightly smaller than the Commander Class Optimus Prime scaled. And this is going to be the S01A Remus. The thing about this is that I was looking at it, I think it's kind of looking like Browning, but it doesn't really match Browning. And I'll show, well, you can look Browning up, but it's a figure that's kind of like Megatron, but not really Megatron. And then here we go with this. So Sony at TM Reviews is going to be the first person to review this. They're sending him a figure to take a look at, to show on his channel. Awesome, awesome Sony getting this and being able to showcase. But same transformation, just different colors, is really the only thing here. But it will be interesting to see it nonetheless. If you're in on this, you've got to go to the alphatoyland.com exclusive. And when TM Reviews video goes live is the same time that the pre-orders are supposed to go live. Really interesting coordination there. Funny, I jest how there's not much news. I'm actually skipping over some stuff that I feel like we've talked about in the past. But this, we've talked about in the past, showed up at a Target, $55. The problem is that a lot of these things are getting increased in price at BBTS and other online retailers. If you can't find it in the wild, you're going to end up paying $10 or $12 more online, and then eventually even way more than that, which is a little scary, a little unnerving, but hopefully I'll find mine in the wild too. But I think I pre-ordered them through BBTS before they raised prices. I think this is fascinating. The numbers of backers per Transformers HasLab, and everybody was saying that Lio Kaiser was on track to be the highest backer count out of all of them, because they were perpetually getting bigger, higher backer counts. Unicron, for a $575 item, had 12,000 backers. Victory Saber and Deathsaurus each had a $180 price point with 26,000 and 27,000 backers respectively, so they were increasing. Then Omega Prime, $250, 28,000, but of course it's not Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime always sells. And then Lio Kaiser dropped down to 23,553. I do believe that even HasLabs, people are price sensitive, and the character doesn't resonate with as many people. Still looks like a pretty cool project, though. Strange days are coming when we get a Minosaur box set. You can't see the figures, but some people love it, some people hate it, some people don't like it. In all reality, to me personally, I would be buying something like this to match the US release, so I wouldn't even be wanting this for the packaging. I would say if you're wanting this, you're probably wanting it for the enhanced paint apps on the figures to display it loose-wise. That's my thought process on this, but some people might disagree with me. Here's the back of the box. But I don't even know what the enhanced paint apps or the pluses or minuses of the paint apps, but there usually are more paint apps or improved for a car release. Minosaur. All right, we got Studio Series Elite Seeker and Ground Soldier as... Is this an Amazon exclusive? It looks like it'd be an exclusive here. And it is available everywhere. Okay, good. Target, TF Source, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, Robot Kingdom, Chosen Prime. Good, good, good. Wouldn't want something like this to be an exclusive. I mean, it's something kind of an offshoot that if it was an Amazon exclusive, would probably sell out and nobody would be able to get it from the Transformers Devastation line. $59, $60 for the 2-pack. Ships in Q3 of this year. So we get to see Studio Series Devies versus the Legacy. So the ones in the front, the smaller ones, are the ones coming out at the $25 deluxe price point. I don't know. These might be the Commander class. Anyhow, I'm not going to really go into all that. I'm just saying size versus what we got with the Titan class one. That's the coloration is different. But looking at them, I think it's going to be a great set. I think it's going to look good. I think people are going to be happy with it. And at the end of the day, I think people that still have the Titan one can still work that one into a masterpiece display. It works. All right, quickly going to look at blockies at this, let's see, WonderCon event, I believe. Anyhow, this is a display that they've got going on, the stuff they're working on. I personally don't collect these. I won't be picking any of them up, but people like looking at these. They like being informed on them, so there you go. And then there's the Devastator one. This is still kind of a fascinating little set they have going on right here with the Devastator. Again, another company doing a Devastator. Everyone's doing a Devastator. Dr. Wu's doing Devastator. Extreme Plus Fans Toys, and of course I made a whole video about that, but there it is. Here's a picture of Onyx Prime. I don't really remember seeing it fully painted. I remember seeing a grayscale of this last, but I guess stuff's happened, and here we go. He's painted up brown. That's what he looks like. Pretty cool looking, interesting figure. If you're into this, then you might want to check it out, pick one up. This is the alternate mode, if you want, the Age of the Primes, leader class, Onyx Prime. And yeah, it looks pretty decent. I don't think it's something I'm going to be into, but some people will. And I knew we had another Yellow Park story around here somewhere. So this is the New Era X Transformers Yellow Park AMK series, G1 Optimus Prime, and this one is going to an exciting upgrade at Complex Con. That's very, very nice looking repaint. I like the black and gold. I like the yellowish windows. It's just like how many times they get to repaint this Prime. I'm not surprised. But when are they going to announce another G1 character? I don't know. I think that we're supposed to be getting a Bumblebee, but has it truly been 100% announced? Anyhow, I love this line. I want to keep it going. I want to keep it in some G1 realm. And I don't need them all. I don't need 100 figures. I mean, 12 max, and I'm good. Give us the main cast. I'd be fine, but it's still fun. I don't think I'm in on this repaint. I got the clear one, and I think I'm done with repaints. We got other stuff to get into, but this is a TV show. Transformers Wild King episodes 1 and 2 are available online. This is targeting children to try to get the next generation excited and into Transformers, and they're doing it the right way. If you can just watch on YouTube, that's how you do it these days. Get that ad revenue from the millions of views or the thousands of views. I don't know how well it's going to go. And then with that, you can inspire kids to buy the toys and get them on the hook for the rest of their life for Transformers collecting. I don't know. But this is a completely new CGI series which will promote the new Transformers Wild King collection, revealed just a few days ago. Alright, there's still more Transformers stories, but they're just updates to past stories. We need to move on. There's a lot to talk about. Toylanta PowerCon exclusives from Ramen Toy, the Mobula, and I pre-ordered mine. You've got maybe, when this airs, 10 hours till the sale goes away, and then it goes back to like $180. So it's on sale for $138. Probably the lowest price you're going to see this thing. So I went ahead and ordered mine. And of course, I'm only ordering one. And I also ordered one of each of the antagonist cyborgs. Hopefully down the road I find another one on a good deal to open and review, but if not, I'll just keep it in the package. Still, a whole lot of fun stuff with them. Also, there's this Masters of the Verse exclusive, and there's 6 heads. They're 15 each, so the whole 6-head wham bam is $90. That's 6 times 15. That's where you get the $90 price point. If you're a little like, why are $90 for some heads when they're just included free with, when you buy Super 7 stuff, they give you a bunch of heads. Well, these are some really, really good head sculpts to improve existing figures that don't have good head sculpts to start. So that's what that's all about. So anyway, my advice if you buy Ramen toy stuff is just order everything you want from them at one time, and then it will calculate a better shipping rate for you. So I'm not going to sit here and talk about every little thing, NECA, Holothon. I'm just going to cover some points here, and this picture they put together is fantastic. I love it. I love the picture they put together here. But I want to say that Nostalgia Unboxed and Mad Hatter, I've got something to say about Mad Hatter. It's funny too, but they did a live stream for like 2 or 3 hours, breaking down every little thing in here. I'm in it for the Pee-wee. I'm in it for, I will probably get the Count. I did not get the Bert and Ernie, even though I saw him at my Target. I will definitely get Shredder, probably 2. And that's about it for me in this, but there's a lot of different Turtle stuff in there that looks like just rehashes of stuff they've done before, which is what NECA continually always does. There's more of the movie stuff, more of the Mirage stuff. I'm not a super expert, but I'm turtled out. Funny thing though, I was watching somebody's live stream that just automatically rolled into their live stream and they were talking about it and someone's like, I'm turtled out. I'm like, I feel you, bro. Speaking of being turtled out, here is the NECA store exclusive, and you have to, I guess, rebuy all 4 of these figures you already had because you already went to 55 Walmarts till you could track them down, and now you have them, and now you got to buy them again to get the clear Splinter. Am I right, or am I wrong on that? Can I just get a clear Splinter, please? Is it possible? No, it's a 5-pack. You have to rebuy the same stuff over again. NECA, what are you doing? NECA. Okay, well, I'm not really into this the movie stuff so much, so I don't feel bad. I just wanted the 4 movie Turtles, but I guess it would have been smart to just wait and buy this set, because this looks like a good set. $169.99. Mondo is making a $175 10-inch tall soft vinyl Doctor Doom. Looks pretty cool. They're doing this because it's cheaper to make a mold for a soft vinyl than it is to make it for regular plastic. Plus, the whole process is cheaper. But I mean, you're not paying less. $175 if you want this guy. I don't usually talk about this stuff, but it's right there, so talk about it. Speaking of Mondo, we got to get into the Mondo booth here. This is the real Ghostbusters. Now, I'm kind of gutted, halfway gutted. I'm only $100 gutted that I missed out on the pre-order to get is it the Boogeyman Ghost? So I'm going to try to get back in line with Winston. Maybe some luck I'll end up being able to track down a Boogeyman, but I'll still at least get the team together. Winston looks good. This is a fun little set, and I have a gut feeling that once this is done, they're not going to redo these figures again. We might get them in different things. Maybe an Ectoglow. Who knows? But anyhow, I'm going to keep up with this set going forward, even though I missed that pre-order. But I do like the Ghost and all that they're doing over here. A lot of fun stuff with the 6-inch real Ghostbusters. And I'm not even a huge Ghostbuster fan. And then this is I think the horse's name is Swiftwind. Am I right? Let me look that up. Do I see that? Yes, She-Ra and Swiftwind, 1/6 scale. Looks really cool. I don't do the 12-inch. I don't even like talking about 12-inch because I don't want to go over that cliff. I don't want to. That's a huge cliff to fall over, financially, space-wise. But I can admire it from a distance. It looks good. I don't know a whole lot about what's going on here with McFarlane Toys, but I'm just going to be able to say what they have here. This is DC Multiverse Batman 1 million. Final Suit Batman, McFarlane Collector Edition, Deadshot, Batman Year 2, Adam Strange, I guess. Cool stuff. None of this really is Call Him a Name. They did a slideshow presentation. We are probably going to get much better pictures and better information next week. So this is at the whatever this convention is. This is something that excites me, so I want to talk about it. We're going to get a Cyborg. I don't know about the other characters so much, and I know we already got a Nightwing. I'm kind of sick of the same characters getting rehashed in this line instead of a Cyborg. Well, now we get a Cyborg, but I don't know if he's going to get metal treatment. I would like that. I want the back metal treatment on it. We deserve that. I'd even pay $20 for one. So I'd buy 3 or 4 for that price if I could get it for $20. They're going to be reissuing some of these other characters in the... So this isn't called Batman 66. It's called Retro Articulated Batman Super Friends. So I'm a sucker for this. I've been kind of on the back burner on these, and I have not been a completist with this line, but I'm a sucker for this, so I probably will pick all these up. They look fantastic. All right, we got Jada Toy Street Fighter, and although I have so many pictures, I just don't have it handy. I was at Walmart the other day, and the first wave was back on the shelf at a Walmart, which I hadn't seen it at a Walmart yet, the whole wave. And they're $30 at Walmart now. Somebody had said the price is going up to $30 on them. They're $30 at Walmart now, but that's beside the point. Well, maybe it is the point. Are we going to be able to buy all these things? But we've got a few things going on here. This is kind of showing off Vega, Sagat, and Blanca, which we need. This next one's coming. We got the Player 2 Guile getting shown off, which is great. And then we've got Player 2 version of Fei Long. And that looks like a deluxe. I'm not going to get that. I really don't even care for the Fei Long character so much, but I got the standard one. That's all I need. But I do like the purple. I don't think I'd be using all the extra accessories with them. Still, cool stuff. Love this line. And Jada's doing such a good job with Street Fighter that they're going to suck me into these other ones. The Flintstones. I have a set of the Flintstones from the movie, and I think it's John Goodman that was in it? Yes, John Goodman. And so they based all of the figures off the actors in the movie. That's the set I have. I will probably go after these. Just get the main characters. It'd be a lot of fun. It'd be hard to say no, and the fact that they're linked to the Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles, wow. That's slick. They pulled that off. Anyhow, I'll probably go after these. Frosty Snowman, Frosted Flakes, belongs in the freezer. Looking up top there, we've got Scooby-Doo, and again, they're doing such a great job with the Street Fighter. It makes me want to get in on Scooby-Doo, and it's gonna be hard to say no. Gotta say no somewhere though. Cyberpunk stuff going on. I don't know much about that, and then some stuff at the bottom there, some cars and stuff. Very interesting that McFarlane, and I guess I should have put that there, Batpod and Batman, The Dark Knight Rises, gold label, 7-inch action figure, 2-pack confirmed, is probably going to be not cheap, probably going to be expensive. Still, it's kind of cool. I'm not that deep into Batman that I'd want this, but I did kind of notice something. It's started looking at this and I said, doesn't this kind of look like something? Looks like the Kidder Mask Barracuda, the split second series. You can go to albertparnello.com to check that out. Best resource for Mask on YouTube. Probably even better than my videos, but still a great resource for Mask. And doesn't that look like the bike that they're using in this? He-Man and the Ninja of the Universe. This is a sorely wanted and needed figure. I don't know if it's really going to match up well to Classics, but Classics Ninja still goes for stupid money, and people would like a Ninja, and now I guess they'd want a Master for Slamurai too. So I'm into this. I will be getting this, even though it's a little on the stylized side from what Classics did. I think it looks good. I still haven't seen the full figure just yet, but I do like the direction they go with New Eternia, and I don't want to see them double up on characters. Wouldn't mind this in a Slamurai, but I'm just kind of getting tired of like 5 Mermans and stuff. That's just kind of getting old, or 11 Man-at-Arms, but I'm in on this guy. Alright, time for some Star Warring going on here, and pre-orders up for this stuff here. So who do we even have here? We've got a Dengar. We've got is it Alexander? I can't even read this tiny print. I know who Asajj Ventress is, and then I know that we have that is it Carson something or another. Anyway, like I don't really know these newer characters so well, but I did watch all the shows, just don't remember all their names. Yes, have some YHS podcast has done a really fun podcast with the actor there on the left in the jacket, and that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. I watched that. Still forgot the character's name. Landspeeder. All this stuff is up for pre-order, I guess, now everywhere you want to go. Okay, Carson Teva, now I'm finding it, and Alexander Callis. Those are the names I was missing. And here's the Landspeeder. This is for the vintage collection. It is going to be like $60. It's going to be like Black Series price. And the Landspeeder, I only see it available to pre-order at Entertainment Earth. Is it an exclusive? Very interesting. At this point, order whatever you like through Hasbro Pulse, as Fan Channel and Amazon have raised their prices on this merchandise. Update number 2, Amazon fixed their prices, corrected their prices to the normal MSRP. So, games getting played there. Yeah, so we're getting played. And this screenshot is probably not the best resolution, but here we go with Black Series, Night Trooper, Ezra Bridger with the Paradia, and then Deluxe SM-33, the pirate droid from Skeleton Crew. Yeah, I watched Skeleton Crew. I watched the whole thing with my wife, my family, and give everything a shot. Star Wars. I'm still putting up that fight. I'm in the fight, trying to win it. These are all up for pre-order at Amazon and Entertainment Earth, and I believe BBTS. Shouldn't it all be at BBTS too? This is a Celebration exclusive Black Series Star Wars Visions Ronin R5 D56. And yeah, if you're into it, the head pops up with a little hat. Interesting stuff they have going on. Now there's something they're saying that there should be, based on previously leaked parts, that the Black Series Ronin and the R5 there will be different versions of figures released outside of Celebration Japan set 2-pack. Exclusive versions are more monochromatic, and the Ronin has soft goods, while the standard version features plastic robes, and the R5 has a brown Casa hat. That can't be it for Star Wars news. Is that it for Star Wars news? Hey, guess what? There's this mailbox that uses the rear of an AT-AT as the mailbox. I do believe this is a violation of my neighborhood's plat restrictions. I wouldn't be able to install this, but still be a lot of fun. All right, so let me know what other news is going on out there that I didn't talk about. What do you think about the stuff I did talk about? And Mad Hatter is committing a federal crime by defacing a $100 bill. He's doing 5 of them. Just kidding. I think it's a lot of fun. Look at that artistic work there. I'm waiting for my Flipors, plural. I got 4 of them coming in the mail so I can flip them. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this week. It's getting a little bit long, so Tadirum Hanger out.